There is a prison that has no walls. You cannot see it. You cannot touch it. But every time you try to speak English, you feel it. You know the words. You understand the question. Somewhere inside your mind, the answer is ready. But before you speak, you stop. You search for the sentence in your own language. You translate it word by word. You check the grammar. You worry about pronunciation. You imagine people laughing. You change the sentence again. And by the time you are ready to speak, the moment is gone. Then you tell yourself, my English is weak. But your English is not always the real problem. The real problem is that you are trying to speak perfectly before you have allowed yourself to speak freely. Today, I want you to make one decision. Not a comfortable decision. Not a small decision. A decision that may change the way you learn English forever. Stop translating. Just speak. I am not asking you to forget your first language. Your language is part of your identity, your memories, your family, and your story. I am asking you to stop using translation as a permanent bridge every time you want to express one simple thought in English. A bridge is useful when you are beginning a journey. But you are not supposed to build your home on the bridge. You must cross it. You must step into English. You must allow English to become more than a school subject, more than a list of grammar rules, and more than an exam you are afraid of failing. English must become an experience. It must become a habit. It must become a voice that grows stronger every time you use it. You may feel nervous today. Speak anyway. You may make mistakes. Speak anyway. You may forget a word in the middle of a sentence. Speak anyway. You may sound slow, uncertain, or imperfect. Speak anyway, because fluency is not the reward you receive before you begin speaking. Fluency is what you build, because you continue speaking. This is day one. You do not need to become fluent today. You only need to stop hiding today. You do not need to impress anyone. You only need to express one honest thought. You do not need 1,000 new words. You need the courage to use the words you already know. So take a breath. Leave perfection outside. Leave shame outside. Leave comparison outside. Bring your voice with you. We are beginning now. Lesson 1. Stop worshipping perfect English. Many English learners are not silent because they know nothing. They are silent because they believe every sentence must be perfect. They think, what if my grammar is wrong? What if my pronunciation sounds strange? What if I use the wrong word? What if someone corrects me? Let me ask you something. When a child begins to walk, does the child wait until every step is perfect? Does the child read a book about balance for 5 years? Does the child feel ashamed after falling? No. The child stands, falls, cries, rises and tries again. That is how every human being learns a natural skill. But when adults learn English, they often become their own harshest judge. They expect themselves to speak like an expert, while they are still learning how to form basic sentences. They compare their first chapter with someone else's 20th chapter. Then they call themselves failures. That is not intelligence. That is self-sabotage. Perfect English is not the goal of day one. Communication is the goal. Imagine you are hungry. You go to a restaurant and say, I want food, please. Maybe a better sentence would be, I would like to order something to eat. But did the first sentence communicate your need? Yes. Then it worked. Language is a tool before it is an art. You do not refuse to use a simple tool because someone else has a better one. You use what you have, and through use, you become more skilled. Your first sentences may be short. I am tired. I like this. I need help. I don't understand. Can you repeat? I want to learn. These sentences are not weak. They are foundations. A tall building does not feel ashamed of its first brick. Your job is to place one brick, then another, then another. Some learners collect vocabulary for years, but rarely speak. They watch hundreds of lessons. They save thousands of posts. They know complicated grammar rules. Yet when someone asks, how was your day? They freeze. Why? Because knowledge that is never used becomes heavy. It fills the mind, but does not free the voice. You do not need to learn everything before you speak. You must speak with what you know, while you continue learning what you do not know. That is the difference between a learner who improves and a learner who remains stuck. One waits to feel ready, the other begins before feeling ready. Today, give yourself permission to produce imperfect English. Say a sentence and do not apologize for it. Do not begin with, sorry, my English is bad. Do not reduce your value before anyone else has even heard your voice. Instead, begin with the sentence you want to say. Your English may be developing, but your thoughts still matter. Your accent may be different, but your voice still deserves space. Your grammar may contain mistakes, but your message can still reach another human being. A mistake is not a public disaster. It is information. It shows you what to practice next. When someone corrects you, do not hear, "You are foolish." Here is one small adjustment that can make you stronger. Do not turn correction into humiliation. Correction is a map. It shows you where you are and where you can go. But there is another truth you must understand. Not every person who laughs at your English is better than you. Sometimes people laugh because they are immature. Sometimes they laugh because they have forgotten how much courage learning requires. Sometimes they laugh because they have never risked being a beginner in public. Do not hand those people control over your progress. Their reaction is their character. Your practice is your future. You have already spoken your first language for many years. Of course, it feels easier. English may feel slower because your brain is building new pathways. That does not mean you are incapable. It means you are in training. Training is uncomfortable. Growth is repetitive. Confidence is built through evidence. Every time you complete one English sentence, you give your brain evidence that you can speak. Every time you survive one mistake, you give yourself evidence that mistakes cannot destroy you. Every time you continue after forgetting a word, you prove that communication does not require perfection. So make this your first promise. I will not wait for perfect English before I allow myself to speak. Say it aloud. Do not whisper it like a secret. Say it like a decision. You are not here to worship perfect English. You are here to build usable English. And usable English begins with one imperfect sentence, spoken with courage. Lesson 2. Think in pictures, feelings, and simple ideas. Why do you translate? Because your brain receives an idea, turns it into your first language, and then searches for an English version. This process feels safe because it is familiar, but it is also slow. Suppose you see rain outside. Your brain may first create a sentence in your language. Then you translate it into English. You check whether you should say, "Rain is happening," "It is raining," or "The rain is coming." You hesitate, but a fluent English speaker often does not begin with a translated sentence. The speaker sees the rain and connects the experience directly with the English phrase, "It is raining." The goal is to create that direct connection. Object to English word, feeling to English phrase, situation to English sentence. Not object to first language to grammar analysis, grammar analysis to English. You can train this ability, but you must begin simply. Look around you. Do not create a complicated speech. Name what you see: door, window, chair, phone, light, cup. Then move from words to short phrases. Open door, bright light, cold water, black phone. Then move to simple sentences. The door is open. The light is bright. The water is cold. My phone is on the table. This exercise may look too easy. That is exactly why many learners ignore it. They want advanced English before they have built automatic basic English. But speed is developed through repetition of simple patterns. An athlete does not become powerful only by attempting the most difficult movement. Strength is built by repeating fundamental movements until the body no longer needs to think about every step. Your mind works in a similar way. You need English sentences that become automatic. When you wake up, think, "I am awake. I feel sleepy. It is morning. I need water. I am getting out of bed." When you prepare food, think, "I am cutting the bread. The tea is hot. I need a spoon. I am hungry. This smells good." When you leave home, think, "I am wearing my shoes. I am locking the door. I am going outside. The road is busy. I am waiting for the bus." Do not translate each sentence. Connect the English words directly with the action. At first, this will feel artificial. That is normal. Many useful habits feel artificial before they become natural. You learn to use a phone by consciously pressing buttons. Now your fingers move automatically. You learn to write letters slowly. Now you can write words without thinking about every line and curve. English thinking can also become automatic, but you must stop making every practice session too difficult. If you try to think about philosophy, economics, and complex emotions in English on day 1, you may become frustrated. Begin with your immediate world. What can you see? What can you hear? What can you feel? What are you doing? What do you need? What do you want? Use simple English to answer. I see a bird. I hear a car. I feel nervous. I am sitting. I need rest. I want coffee. This is not childish English. This is training. There is dignity in beginning correctly. Another powerful method is to think in images instead of translated words. When you learn the word apple, do not only connect it with the word for apple in your first language. Imagine the shape, the color, the taste, and the object itself. When you learn tired, connect it with the feeling in your body at the end of a long day. When you learn excited, remember a moment when you received good news. When English is attached to experience, it becomes easier to remember and faster to use. Translation creates one connection. Experience creates many. Think about the word home. Home is not only a dictionary meaning. It may be a door, a voice, a smell, a room, a memory, a sense of safety, or even a person. When you attach English to real life, the language becomes alive. This is why stories, conversations, and daily situations can teach you more deeply than isolated word lists. Your brain remembers meaning when meaning is connected to emotion and context. So today, choose 10 objects around you and name them in English. Then choose 5 actions and describe them. Then choose 3 feelings and express them. Do not search for advanced words. Use simple words quickly. You may say, I am holding a cup. I am opening my laptop. I am feeling worried. Then ask yourself one small question in English. What am I doing? Answer in English. What do I need? Answer in English. How do I feel? Answer in English. You are teaching your mind that English is not a foreign visitor that appears only during lessons. English can live inside ordinary moments. It can enter your kitchen, your bedroom, your workplace, your walk, and your thoughts. The more places English enters, the less foreign it feels. Do not force yourself to think in English all day from the beginning. That promise sounds impressive, but often fails by lunchtime. Start with 5 minutes. 5 honest minutes of direct English thinking are more useful than 1 hour of fighting with complicated translation. During those 5 minutes, do not judge the quality of your thoughts. Keep them simple, keep them moving. Your mind will try to return to your first language. Do not become angry. Gently return to English. This is training, not punishment. You are not fighting your first language. You are creating a second mental path. And every time you connect one real experience directly to an English phrase, that path becomes clearer. One day, someone will ask you a question, and the answer will come in English before you have time to translate. It will feel sudden, but it will not be magic. It will be the result of hundreds of small moments when you looked at life and named it in English. Lesson 3. Speak with the words you have. Many learners believe they cannot speak because they do not know enough vocabulary. Sometimes that is true. Vocabulary matters, but often, the real problem is not a lack of words. It is the refusal to use simple words. You want to express one idea, but you cannot remember the exact word, so you stop the entire conversation. That habit must end. Communication is not a vocabulary examination. You are allowed to explain. You are allowed to describe. You are allowed to take a different road to reach the same meaning. Suppose you forget the word umbrella. You can say, the thing we use when it rains. Suppose you forget the word refrigerator. You can say, the machine that keeps food cold. Suppose you forget the word appointment. You can say, a planned time to meet someone. Suppose you forget exhausted. You can say, very tired. That is not failure. That is communication intelligence. Fluent speakers also forget words. The difference is that they do not always stop. They replace, explain, simplify, or continue. Your goal is not to know every word. No one knows every word. Your goal is to remain in the conversation. Imagine a driver who reaches a closed road. A weak driver sits there forever and complains. A skilled driver finds another route. When one English word is blocked, find another route. Use an easier word. Use an example. Use a description. Use a gesture when appropriate. Ask, what do you call this in English? Then listen and learn. The conversation itself can become your teacher. But some learners feel embarrassed when they use basic vocabulary. They want every sentence to sound advanced. They replace clear words with complicated words they do not fully understand. Then the sentence becomes unnatural or confusing. Simple language is not weak language. Clear language is powerful. Consider these two sentences. I am currently experiencing a significant degree of fatigue. I am very tired. Both may be correct. But in an ordinary conversation, the second sentence is often stronger because it is natural and direct. Do not use difficult words to prove intelligence. Use useful words to create understanding. Your value is not measured by the length of your vocabulary. A person can use advanced words and say nothing meaningful. Another person can use simple words and change someone's life. The purpose of language is connection. So begin with a small group of high-use words. Words such as want, need, like, know, think, feel, go, come, make, take, give, find, help, try, work, speak, learn, understand, remember, and forget. These verbs can carry hundreds of sentences. I want to improve. I need more time. I like this idea. I know the answer. I think you are right. I feel nervous. I am going home. Please come with me. I made a mistake. I will try again. Do not underestimate common words. The most useful buildings are not always made from rare materials. They are made from strong materials arranged well. In the same way, fluency grows when you arrange familiar words quickly and confidently. You may know the word improve, but do you use it? Can you say, I want to improve my speaking. My pronunciation is improving. I improved because I practiced every day. This exercise will help me improve. Learning one word deeply is more useful than seeing 10 words once. Do not only collect words. Build relationships with them. Use them in different sentences. Ask questions with them. Use them about your own life. Speak them aloud. Write them. Hear them. Return to them tomorrow. A word becomes yours when you can use it without fear. Today, create your personal survival vocabulary. Choose 20 words that help you speak about your daily life. Maybe you need words for work, study, family, travel, or emotions. Then make short sentences. Do not copy sentences that have no connection to your life. Instead of saying, the farmer owns a blue tractor. When you are not a farmer and never discuss tractors, say something useful. I have a meeting today. I need to finish my work. My sister is studying. I am worried about the exam. I want to travel. I enjoy learning English. Personal sentences are easier to remember because they belong to you. You are not only learning English, you are building the English version of your life. There is another trap you must avoid. Do not interrupt yourself every 5 seconds to search a dictionary. A dictionary is useful, but constant searching destroys speaking flow. During speaking practice, give yourself a rule. If you forget a word, try to explain it using English before checking the meaning. This struggle is useful. It forces your brain to become flexible. Perhaps you want to say generous, but you forget it. You say, she always helps people and gives what she has. That sentence may even communicate more beautifully than the single word. After the practice, check the word. Then repeat the complete sentence. She is generous. Now you have connected the new word to a meaning you already expressed. This is active learning. You did not simply receive the answer. You prepared a place for it. Your speaking will become stronger when you stop treating forgotten words as dead ends. A missing word is only a small obstacle. Walk around it, climb over it, describe it, replace it. Keep moving, because the person who keeps moving with simple words will eventually become fluent. The person who waits silently for perfect words will remain silent, no matter how many vocabulary lists they memorize. So speak with what you have. Your current vocabulary is not a cage. It is a starting kit. Use every tool inside it. Lesson 4. Train your mouth, not only your mind. English is not learned only inside the mind. It must also be trained in the mouth. You may recognize a word when you read it. You may understand it when someone says it. But when you try to speak, your tongue hesitates. Why? Because recognition and production are different skills. Watching someone exercise does not make your muscles stronger. Understanding a swimming lesson does not teach your body to swim. In the same way, listening to English is not enough if your goal is speaking English. You must move your mouth. You must produce sound. You must hear your own voice. Many learners study silently because silent study feels safe. No one can hear the mistake. No one can judge the accent. No one can notice hesitation. But safety has a price. You become good at understanding English silently and remain uncomfortable speaking it aloud. That is why you can watch a video and understand almost everything, yet struggle to answer one simple question. Your ears are trained. Your mouth is not. Today, we begin changing that. Choose one short English sentence. For example, I am learning to speak with confidence. Say it slowly. I am learning to speak with confidence. Do not rush. Notice each word. Now say it again with a natural rhythm. I am learning to speak with confidence. Say it 5 times. The first time may feel stiff. The second time may feel clearer. By the 5th time, your mouth begins to remember the movement. This is physical training. Pronunciation is not only knowing where the sound comes from. It is repeating the sound until your mouth can create it more easily. Some sounds in English may not exist in your first language. That does not mean you are incapable of making them. It means the muscles and movements are unfamiliar. Unfamiliar does not mean impossible. It means untrained. When you hear a useful phrase, do not only write it down. Repeat it. Copy the speaker's rhythm. Copy the stress. Copy the pauses. Copy the emotion. This technique is often called shadowing. But the name is less important than the action. You listen to a short piece of speech and speak with it, or immediately after it, not an entire movie, not a 40-minute lecture. Begin with one sentence. Listen, pause, repeat, listen again, repeat again. Then say it without the audio. Record yourself. Yes, recording can feel uncomfortable. You may dislike your voice. You may hear mistakes you did not notice while speaking. You may feel tempted to delete the recording immediately. Do not run away. The recording is not an enemy. It is a mirror. A mirror does not insult you. It reveals what is there. When you listen to yourself, do not say, I sound terrible. That judgment gives you no useful information. Ask specific questions. Was I clear? Did I speak too quickly? Which word was difficult? Where did I pause? Did my voice become too quiet? What can I improve in the next recording? Specific observation creates progress. General self-hatred creates paralysis. You must learn to evaluate your English without attacking yourself. Say, this word needs practice. Do not say, I am useless. Say, I paused too long. Do not say, I can never speak. One identifies a skill. The other destroys identity. Your identity should never be built around one weak performance. A difficult sentence is not proof that you are a difficult student. It is only a sentence. Practice it. Break it into pieces. Repeat each piece. Connect the pieces again. Suppose the sentence is, I would like to improve my communication skills. You can divide it. I would like to improve my communication skills. Repeat each part. Then connect 2 parts. I would like to improve. Then say the whole sentence. I would like to improve my communication skills. This method reduces pressure. Do not attack the entire mountain at once. Take one step, then another. Your voice also needs volume. Some learners speak so quietly that even correct English becomes difficult to understand. They are not protecting accuracy. They are hiding. Speak clearly enough to hear yourself. Confidence is not always something you feel before speaking. Sometimes confidence begins as a physical decision. Lift your head. Open your mouth. Finish the sentence. Do not allow your voice to disappear at the final word. Your posture affects your breathing. Your breathing affects your voice. Your voice affects how you experience your own speech. You do not need to perform like an actor. You only need to stop shrinking. There is nothing shameful about practicing alone. Talk to yourself while doing ordinary tasks. Describe what you are doing. Explain your plan for the day. Tell a short story about yesterday. Answer imaginary questions. What do you do? What are your goals? What did you learn today? What makes you happy? Speak your answers aloud. At first, you may feel strange, but what is more important? Avoiding a few strange minutes or remaining silent for years. Sometimes progress requires you to do privately what successful people make look natural publicly. Every fluent speaker has repeated words. Every confident speaker has hesitated. Every skilled performer has practiced when no audience was present. Do not only dream about speaking English in public. Build the skill in private. 10 focused minutes of speaking aloud every day can transform your comfort level. Not because 10 minutes are magical, but because daily repetition changes what feels normal. On the first day, English speaking may feel like an event. After consistent practice, it becomes a routine. Then it becomes part of you. Train your ears, yes. Train your vocabulary, yes. Train your grammar, yes. But do not forget the instrument through which your English enters the world. Train your mouth. Your voice deserves practice. Lesson 5. Replace fear with curiosity. Fear asks, what if I make a mistake? Curiosity asks, What will I learn if I try? Fear asks, what will people think? Curiosity asks, what can this conversation teach me? Fear tries to protect you from embarrassment, but when fear controls your learning, it also protects you from growth. You cannot remove every uncomfortable feeling before you speak. Sometimes you must speak while your heart is beating quickly. Sometimes you must answer while your mind is uncertain. Sometimes courage is not a loud feeling of power. Sometimes courage is simply completing the sentence while fear is still present. Many learners say, I need confidence before I can speak. But confidence is usually built after repeated action. You speak, you survive, you learn, you speak again, you improve. Then confidence grows. Waiting for confidence before action is like waiting for strength before exercise. The exercise creates the strength. Your first conversation may not feel good. You may forget easy words. You may misunderstand the question. You may answer slowly. That does not mean the conversation failed. Ask yourself, did I try? Did I communicate something? Did I discover one weakness? Did I learn one new expression? Then the conversation gave you value. Stop measuring every speaking experience by how impressive you sounded. Measure it by how much you participated. Participation is progress. You do not become a speaker by observing conversations from a distance. You become a speaker by entering them. There may be people around you who speak more fluently. Do not turn their ability into evidence against yourself. Study them. Notice how they begin sentences. Notice how they ask for clarification. Notice what they say when they need time. You can learn useful phrases such as, let me think for a moment. I'm not sure how to explain it. What I mean is, could you say that again? Do you mean, I don't know the exact word. But these phrases give you time and help you remain calm. Fluent communication is not speaking without pauses. It is knowing how to manage pauses. You are allowed to think. You are allowed to correct yourself. You are allowed to say, let me say that again. This is not weakness, it is control. Fear becomes more powerful when your goal is vague. You say, I want to speak English fluently, and the goal feels enormous. Instead, create small speaking missions. Today, ask one question in English. Tomorrow, introduce yourself for 30 seconds. The next day, order something in English, or practice the conversation at home. Then explain your daily routine for 1 minute. Then tell a short story. Small missions give fear a smaller target. Your mind may be afraid of speaking English, but it can handle one sentence, then one question, then 1 minute. Growth often happens through manageable discomfort, not through avoiding discomfort, and not through overwhelming yourself. You do not need to enter the most difficult situation on day one. You need to move one step beyond your usual silence. Suppose you always answer with one word. Today, answer with one complete sentence. If someone asks, did you like the movie? Do not only say yes. Say yes, I liked it because the story was interesting. That additional phrase is growth. If someone asks, how are you? Do not always say, fine. Say, I'm a little tired, but I'm feeling positive today. You are turning automatic answers into real communication. Curiosity can also change the way you experience mistakes. When you make a mistake, ask, why was that wrong? What would sound more natural? Can I make 3 new sentences with the correction? Do not only feel embarrassed and move on. Use the mistake. A mistake you study can become a permanent improvement. A mistake you only fear will return again. Let us say you say, she go to work every day. Someone corrects you. She goes to work every day. Do not simply nod. Repeat, she goes to work every day. My brother goes to university. The bus goes through the city. Now the correction becomes a pattern. You are no longer carrying shame. You are carrying knowledge. There will also be moments when someone does not understand you. Do not immediately conclude, my English is terrible. Misunderstandings happen even between fluent speakers. Maybe you spoke too softly. Maybe the environment was noisy. Maybe the listener was distracted. Maybe one word was unclear. Repeat more slowly. Use a different phrase. Give an example. Communication is shared work. Do not carry all the blame. Your task is not to control every person's reaction. Your task is to remain present. You are not a performance being judged. You are a human being trying to connect with another human being. When you remember that, the pressure changes. The conversation is no longer a courtroom. It becomes an exchange. You listen. You respond. You ask. You clarify. You discover. That is why curiosity is stronger than fear. Fear makes the world smaller. Curiosity opens it. Fear says, stay silent so nobody sees your weakness. Curiosity says, speak so you can discover your strength. You do not have to defeat fear completely today. You only have to stop obeying it every time. Let fear sit in the room, but do not give it the microphone. Lesson 6. Build an English life, not an English lesson. You cannot expect English to become natural if it appears only for 30 minutes during a lesson and disappears for the rest of the day. A language becomes strong when it becomes part of your environment. You do not need to move to another country. You do not need expensive courses. You do not need to change your entire life. You need to create small spaces where English is used regularly. Your phone can become one of those spaces. Change the language settings to English, provided you can still use the important functions safely. Read simple notifications in English. Name your folders in English. Write your reminders in English. Call the doctor. Buy groceries. Finish the report. Practice speaking. These tiny interactions teach your brain that English belongs to real life. Your room can become another English space. Place small labels on objects, if that helps you. Mirror, drawer, switch, curtain. But do not leave the labels as decoration. Use the words in sentences. The mirror is clean. The drawer is closed. I am turning off the switch. The curtain is blue. Your daily routine can become an English lesson without feeling like school. While making tea, speak for 1 minute. While walking, describe what you see. While traveling, think about where people may be going. While waiting, review useful phrases. The minutes you usually lose can become practice. But be careful. Do not turn every moment into pressure. You still need silence. You still need rest. You still need to enjoy your life without analyzing every word. The goal is not to make English a punishment that follows you everywhere. The goal is to make it familiar. Choose specific English zones. Maybe the first 10 minutes after breakfast are English only. Maybe your evening walk becomes English thinking time. Maybe you record a 1-minute voice note before sleeping. Maybe one friend agrees to practice with you twice a week. Consistency matters more than intensity. A learner who practices 15 minutes every day often becomes more comfortable than a learner who studies 5 hours once a month. Why? Because the brain strengthens what it meets repeatedly. Repetition tells the brain, this matters. Keep this available. Long gaps tell the brain, this is not used often. Store it far away. You want English to remain close. That requires contact. But contact must include variety. Listen to English. Read English. Write English. Speak English. Each skill supports the others. Listening gives you natural patterns. Reading gives you vocabulary and structure. Writing slows your thoughts and helps you notice grammar. Speaking teaches you to produce language in real time. Do not become trapped in only one activity. Some learners watch videos all day and call it practice. Watching can help, but passive exposure is not enough. After watching a short section, pause and explain what you understood. Say, the speaker talked about discipline. He gave 3 examples. I agreed with the second idea. I learned a new phrase. Now listening becomes speaking. When you read a short paragraph, close it and summarize it aloud. Do not worry about using the exact words. Use your own English. This forces your brain to retrieve language instead of merely recognizing it. Retrieval creates strength. Imagine vocabulary as books in a large library. Recognition means you know the book is somewhere inside. Retrieval means you can find it when you need it. Speaking requires retrieval. That is why testing yourself is useful. Do not always look at the answer. Ask yourself first, what did I learn? How can I explain it? What example can I give? Then speak. You also need content that matches your level. If every video is too difficult, you may feel lost. If every text is too easy, you may not grow. Choose material where you understand the main idea but still meet some new language. You do not need to understand every word. This is another perfection trap. Learners sometimes pause a video after every unfamiliar word. 10 minutes later, they have studied 3 seconds of content and forgotten the main idea. First, listen for meaning. What is happening? Who is speaking? What is the main point? Then choose a few useful words to study. Not every new word deserves your attention. Some words are rare. Some are not relevant to your life. Some can wait. Choose words you expect to use. English becomes more powerful when it serves your real goals. Perhaps you want English for work. Practice introducing yourself professionally. explaining your responsibilities, asking questions, and giving updates. Perhaps you want English for travel. Practice airports, hotels, directions, food, and emergencies. Perhaps you want English for education. Practice discussing ideas, asking for clarification, and presenting opinions. Do not copy someone else's learning plan without considering your own life. Your English journey must have a purpose. Purpose creates motivation when excitement disappears, and excitement will disappear sometimes. There will be days when you do not feel inspired. You may feel tired. You may feel busy. You may believe you are not improving. On those days, reduce the task but do not abandon the habit. Speak for 2 minutes instead of 20. Review 5 sentences instead of 50. Listen to one short clip. Write 3 lines. A small action keeps the identity alive. You are telling yourself, I am still a person who practices English. Missing one day is not a disaster. But be careful when one day becomes 1 week and 1 week becomes 3 months. Return quickly. Do not create drama. Do not say, I have destroyed all my progress. Begin again. A strong learner is not someone who never breaks the routine. A strong learner is someone who knows how to return. Build an English life that is realistic enough to continue, not a perfect schedule that collapses after 3 days. Your system should fit your responsibilities, energy, and goals. English should challenge you, but it should also belong to you. Invite it into your life in small, consistent ways. Then one day, you will notice something. English will no longer feel like a visitor. It will feel like a room inside your own mind. Lesson 7. Let your voice become bigger than your doubt. There is a reason you want to speak English. Maybe you want a better job. Maybe you want to study abroad. Maybe you want to travel without depending on others. Maybe you want to speak to people from different countries. Maybe you want to share your ideas online. Maybe you simply want to prove to yourself that you can do something that once frightened you. Whatever your reason is, remember it. Because learning English is not only about words, it is about access. It can give you access to conversations, knowledge, opportunities, and communities. But the language itself will not walk into the world for you. You must carry it with your voice. A silent dream remains a dream. A spoken decision begins to become real. You may have spent years believing that other people are naturally confident, and you are not. That belief is convenient because it removes responsibility. You say they were born confident. I was not. But look more closely. Many confident people were once nervous. They became confident because they repeatedly entered situations that demanded courage. Confidence is not always a personality. It is often a history of kept promises. You promised yourself you would practice. And you practiced. You promised yourself you would speak. And you spoke. You promised yourself you would continue after mistakes. And you continued. Each kept promise strengthens self-trust, and self-trust is the foundation of confidence. Do not make a huge promise today. Do not say, I will speak perfect English in 30 days. That may sound powerful, but it is not fully within your control. Make a promise based on action. I will speak English for 10 minutes every day. I will record 1 voice note. I will learn and use 5 useful phrases. I will answer 1 question without translating every word. These promises are clear. They are measurable. They are yours. Then keep them. Your future confidence is listening to what you do today. Every time you avoid practice, you teach yourself that fear makes your decisions. Every time you practice despite discomfort, you teach yourself that courage makes your decisions. Which identity do you want to strengthen? You do not need to become someone else. You do not need to copy another person's accent, personality, or voice. Your English should still sound like you. An accent is not a disease. It is evidence that you have learned more than 1 language. Clarity matters. Pronunciation matters. Improving them is useful. But do not confuse improvement with erasing yourself. Your goal is to be understood, not to become an imitation. Speak clearly. Speak thoughtfully. Speak as yourself. There are billions of English speakers in the world. They do not all sound the same. English belongs to many countries, cultures, and communities. You are not asking permission to use it. You are learning how to participate in it. Your voice may shake in the beginning. Let it shake. A shaking voice can still tell the truth. A nervous speaker can still complete a sentence. A beginner can still ask an intelligent question. Do not wait until your fear disappears. Let your purpose become bigger than your fear. Think about the person you may become after 1 year of consistent speaking practice. Not perfect, not finished, but stronger. You may attend a meeting and express an idea clearly. You may answer an interview question without freezing. You may speak to a stranger during travel. You may record a video. You may help another learner who is standing where you stand today. That future person is not created by one dramatic moment. That person is created by ordinary practice, repeated when nobody is watching. One sentence today, one conversation tomorrow, one mistake corrected, one new phrase used, one moment of courage, then another. Progress is often quiet while it is happening. You may not notice improvement every day. A tree does not look taller every morning, but it continues growing. Do not destroy your progress by measuring it every hour. Give your effort time. Record yourself today, then record yourself again after 30 days. You may hear changes that were invisible during the journey. Your pauses may be shorter. Your sentences may be longer. Your voice may sound calmer. Your vocabulary may come more quickly. Evidence will replace doubt. But even before the evidence becomes obvious, continue. Discipline sometimes means working without immediate proof. You trust the process because the actions are correct. Speak, listen, repeat, correct, continue. That is the process. There will be difficult days. You may meet someone whose English seems effortless. You may feel behind. Remember that you do not know their entire story. You do not know how long they have practiced. You do not know how many mistakes they made privately. You do not know how many opportunities they had. Comparison uses incomplete information and produces unfair conclusions. Learn from people, but do not use them to punish yourself. Your competition is not the most fluent person in the room. Your competition is the version of you who keeps choosing silence. Defeat that version with one sentence. Today, when your mind says, translate first, pause. Look at the idea. Use the English you have. Say it simply. Maybe the sentence will not be elegant. Say it. Maybe you will need to start again. Start again. Maybe you will forget a word. Describe it. Maybe someone will correct you. Learn from it. Maybe your voice will shake. Finish the sentence. This is how doubt becomes smaller. Not because you argue with it for hours, but because you act while it is speaking. Doubt says you cannot. You answer with action. Doubt says you will fail. You answer with practice. Doubt says people will judge you. You answer, my growth matters more than their temporary opinion. Do not underestimate the power of hearing yourself speak. For years, you may have listened to teachers, native speakers, actors, and online creators. Now listen to your own voice. It may not sound the way you want yet, but it is moving. It is learning. It is becoming. Respect the beginning. One day, the voice that feels uncertain now may speak in places you cannot yet imagine. It may encourage someone. It may defend an idea. It may ask for an opportunity. It may tell your story. It may change the direction of your life. But first, you must stop silencing it. So here is your challenge for day 1. After this lesson ends, do not immediately move to another video. Do not collect more information. Use what you have learned. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Speak only in English. Talk about who you are, where you live, what you do, what you want, and why you are learning English. When you forget a word, explain it. When you make a mistake, continue. When silence appears, ask yourself a question and answer it. 5 minutes. Not to impress anyone, not to become fluent instantly, to prove that you can begin. Then record one final sentence. I do not need perfect English to use my voice. Say it again. I do not need perfect English to use my voice. And one more time. With greater belief, I do not need perfect English to use my voice. This is day 1. The day you stop waiting. The day you stop asking fear for permission. The day you stop translating every thought and begin building a direct relationship with English. Tomorrow, you may still make mistakes. You will probably make many. Good. Mistakes mean you are producing language. You may still hesitate. Good. Hesitation means you are reaching beyond what is automatic. You may still feel nervous. Good. Nervousness means you are doing something that matters to you. Do not run from these feelings. Walk through them. You have spent enough time believing that readiness will arrive before action. Now you know the truth. Action creates readiness. Practice creates fluency. Courage creates confidence. Your voice does not need to be perfect to be powerful. It only needs to be used. Stop translating in your head. Start speaking English. Your first sentence is waiting.